Alright, you have your imagery downloaded, you're ready to start scouting. Let's set a few things up so we can automate a lot of the processing for you while you're in the field, so you don't have to do this when you're in the actual field. I'm going to come up here, I'm at a field level, but I'm going to hit the menu bar option. I'm going to go into the general settings button, and in here I'm going to come down here on the right side. I'm on the general setup, and here if I scroll down just a little bit, you'll notice there's sampling collection, sample GPS turned on or off. If you're going to be in the field scouting, you want to turn that on, of course. Scouting collection, are you going to do a point or are you going to do a polygon? 99% of the people that are doing scouting are doing it by point because they want to be able to go back to those same XY point locations and identify a problem, and then 3 days later after they've sprayed or put some products on, they want to go back and make sure that they're managing that, whatever that crop issue might have been. And then the scouting schedule. Do you want to be reminded every 3 days, every 7 days, every 10 days, 14, and it rotates through 30. So in the early part of the season, you'd probably want that pretty short. Where that comes into play at, if I come back up here and hit done, and come back here to the field level view into the maps, and go down here to the home page, that's where you get all these window tiles. And in these window tiles, it will come down here and it will tell you the information, what you've told it to do. And it will remind you down here in the scouting side of what you need to do, when you need to do it, and so on and so forth as you start into the scouting season itself. So the other thing, I will just grab this and pull it down, that you'll want to set up are your products as far as your drop-down list for what you're going to use once you do actually do the scouting itself. So I'm going to show you a couple ways of doing this, but number one is I'm going to come back up here to the menu bar, and I'm going to come back up here all the way back out to the account view, and then click on the map view here. And the reason for this is because there's an add a tank mix here at the account level. I'll just click on that and drop down here, and we can add a new tank mix. Now there's some I already have, but I'm going to take you through and show you how to create a new tank mix here. So you'd want to give this a name, and we'll just call this spring, or something that's identifiable for you. Give it a descriptor as far as what you might want to describe that, the constituent makeup, and so on and so forth, 4,000 character limit. You can mix up the constituents once they're in there. The add carrier will come in here and we'll say, well, this is going to be water, or right now I only have water or fertilizer. You can hit that plus sign and add in whatever else you might need. I'll just put water for this particular one. And we're going to put down the units. If I click that plus sign, it gives me my units, and I can set that up automatically. Done button, or actually I'm going to put the total out value. We're going to put 10 gallon per acre. Hit done. And then I'll come in here and I'll start adding products on that orange button right in the center. And here's your different herbicide down through the nitrogen stabilizers. So let's say we're going to mix a herbicide product in here, and here's my drop down list, my short list of all the different from the master list. Now that plus sign, if I click that, that gives me the master list of all of these. But again, you pick from those. So if I pick this 4-speed and hit done, that's now populated in here into this particular one. So I could come in here and pick whatever it is that I need and put down now what the product rate is. Click that, slide that over. It's going to be ounces, and we're going to 12 ounces. Some of these numbers may be off, but you get the idea. And I'll hit Monsanto for the registration code and add that one into the list. Go back and hit a second product. Say we're going to put in an insecticide. We're going to go through the product, and this is my short list, and we're going to put some obelisk. And we're going to put some rate down. And we're going to put the units at the fluid ounces per acre. And the registration code for that is this here, and hit add, and I'll do one more. We'll go down, we'll put a fungicide, and you can put up to 8 herbicides, 8 insecticides, 8 fungicides into this in order to be able to take care of what you're trying to do out there in the field. This is my short list of my fungicides. So pick the one that's appropriate, pick and put whatever the rate might be, what you're going to mix into this, and then what the registration code is for that, and hit add. Once that's all done, you can come in here to the actual constituents and move those around in that mix order for whatever might be appropriate. And all I'm doing is clicking on the actual 3 lines on the right on the parallel bars and moving that up or down in the list. Then I'll hit the save button, and it says the tank mix with this already exists, so we'll just call this our spring early, because it has to have a unique name, and I'll save that. And now we've got our spring early 2020 in the list. So now we've got our tank mix set up and we're ready to go whenever we're ready to go out and start populating that when we do our scouting itself.